here we go into a Colorado game that in some ways is going to be difficult to measure progress. Colorado's a 34-point dog at the Coliseum. And except for that effort against Cal, their lone Pac-12 win, of course, they are a winless team. So what are going to be your trouble spots, your awareness is going to go in what direction during this Friday night affair?
Starts with the secondary. Like, you know, this is another opponent that USC's defense should really be able to feast on. You want to follow our friends at Buffalo's Wire, you know, so, you know, a Pac-12 partner of Trojans Wire, and they've noted that Jordan Tyson, Colorado's best receiver, he's out for this game. So, like, that is a big injury for Colorado. So, like, you not only are playing Colorado, but you're playing a weakened Colorado. So, like, if you can't do the job, if you can't perform basic tasks against this Colorado offense, this Colorado roster, like, it is really a 5-alarm fire for the USC defense. So the secondary has to get its act in order. That's point number one. It's also for a chance for the linebackers, the backup linebackers, because I don't think Eric Gentry is going to play. You know, if he's not, if he's, you know, are there any questions about his health? You sit him out one more week so that you get him for UCLA. And, you know, like, what are you going to learn against Colorado? So I think that you know, you sit Gentry if there's any question about him. You know, if he's ready to go, fine, you play him. But if there are questions, you can afford to sit him. Like, you're not going to lose to Colorado. So it's a chance for the backup linebackers, though, to just get sharper in terms of reading their keys, carrying out their assignments, because if they're needed against UCLA, like, they need to be on their game. So, like, this is the dress rehearsal. Interesting little side note. I noticed over the weekend after the Georgia-Tennessee game that Kirby Smart mentioned about his Georgia team. Well, we were practicing really hard the past 2 weeks. They didn't have an off week in the middle of those 2 weeks. They were playing Florida. So, like, Kirby Smart was busting Florida's chops. But the point about mentioning that is that you can treat this game as part of your UCLA preparation, right? You do not need to do intensive game film for Colorado. You can already set in motion the game plan and your practice habits and your film study for UCLA. And you just kind of, the Colorado game is just part of it. It's helpful. This is a Friday game. You get that out of the way sooner. You get more rest for UCLA. But anyway, like, this, you could say this is already UCLA prep time, and Colorado is just kind of be like a scrimmage as part of the run up to that. So the Kirby Smart remark about Tennessee preparation going through the Florida game reminded me of that. So that's what matters most. The other thing that USC fans really want to see, and you know, anyone concerned with and who supports the program also wants to see this. This is a game in which Miller and Moss should be playing in the fourth quarter, because this game should be done. You stick a fork in this game late in the third quarter. USC should be up 30-35, and Miller and Moss needs to get his reps. Like, you know, this is where his teammates and his defense need to set up this game so that he gets some meaningful action. You know, he's paid his dues. He's working hard. He's trying to stay ready. Obviously, we don't want K. Williams to get hurt. So, like, he deserves a fourth quarter, and we really need to see this team give him a fourth quarter by, you know, smoking Colorado in the first 2.5 to 3 quarters. So that's the other thing a lot of USC fans want to see from this game. It's definitely something I want to see as well, because Miller Moss deserves it for all the hard work that he's put in. There's one other thing to say in terms of the coaching staff. So we talked about Alex Grinch, we talked about Dante Williams. The other thing is USC's butchered an onside kick in this game and also had a botched extra point in this game. There is no special teams coordinator on Lincoln Riley's staff. Now, I'm not saying there should be a special teams coordinator, but it's been pretty ragged for most of the season. But it really invites a fascinating question. You know, let's say hypothetically that Dante Williams, you know, should not be retained next year, just given the caliber of his coaching not rising to meet the level USC needs, and his recruiting chops aren't worth keeping him if he's not providing the actual quality of coaching USC needs. So a couple questions. One, do you replace Dante Williams with a special teams coordinator? That's one question. But the other question is, as much help as you need on this defense, maybe you just replace Dante Williams with another defensive coach and you don't commit to a special teams coordinator. But that the question it invites regarding special teams is, who's the guy who multitasks? Who's the guy on this staff who can take the role of coaching a position group either on defense or offense, and who can also essentially handle the special teams? Is there a guy on this staff already that can really have one foot in each door, coaching a position group and coaching special teams? And I think Lincoln Riley really needs to drill deep on that. If he can't find a guy who can really do double duty on his staff, then he has to bite the bullet and hire a special teams coordinator. I don't think it's a settled question, because this defense needs better coaching. Everyone would agree on that. So I have a strong pull. I think an inclination. Like, I haven't decided this, but I think right now, if I'm leaning one way, I'm thinking you need to get another defensive coach to provide stronger player development, stronger coaching of technique. But if you really don't have a guy already on the staff who can handle special teams, you're going to have to use one of those 10 assistant slots for special teams coordinator. So there are 3 questions about the 2023 coaching staff: Grinch, Dante Williams, special teams coordinator. Now, I think Alex Grinch should definitely be retained. I'm on record as saying that, but I also think that, like, he is inviting questions as we get toward the end of the season. I think Dante Williams is a much more central example of, should you retain him or not? And then special teams coordinator. 3 really interesting coaching decisions for Lincoln Riley heading into the offseason, unless we really see marked improvement in all of these areas against UCLA.